G'day guys, here we are, number 38 CARCASE dovetail box. Now, this is the drawing that's probably going to give you the best idea of what CARCASE joints are, right? You can see that we're using CARCASE dovetail joints to create an actual box. So this could be a box that you keep something in, it could be a drawer where you put a base in, whatever. This is where you use CARCASE joints. You can see we've got the joint along the width of the piece of timber and on each of the four corners, right? These are where CARCASE joints come in. So this might look a little bit tricky. There's a lot of, there's a lot to do. We've got 5 dovetails in each corner, but again, because, how handy SketchUp is, we can just draw one piece, copy it for the back, and then we can draw our pin piece and copy it for the other side. It's pretty easy. So for starters, let's see what information we've got on the dovetails. Actually, we'll check that out once we've put our first piece in. Remember, we always do the tails first. So let's get that in. It's 400 millimeters wide, 19 millimeters thick. So we'll go 400, 19, enter, and it's 140 millimeters wide. So we'll go 140. There we go. So this piece is this piece here. We'll make it a component first. Create. Then I'll double click on it so I can start putting these tails in. Now, we don't even need to draw these dovetails twice. We can draw them once here and then copy them and put them on the other side, right? I'll show you how that works. It can be a little bit confusing, so I'll go slow just so you can pay attention. Let's see. So the dovetail pitch is 1 to 6, so that'll be our 9.5 degrees. The tops of the tails are 20 millimeters. The tops of these pins are 8 millimeters, and the tops of the shoulder pins are half, so they're 4 millimeters. All right, so first thing we always do is find the center. So we got to go 70 millimeters. We can see because we've got 5, the center is going to be in the middle of one of the tails, okay? So it's going to be in the middle of this tail. And because the tails are 20 millimeters wide, we need to go 10 millimeters out each way from the center point. And that way, and, 10 that way, okay? So that's our first tail. Then we've got to leave a gap of 8 millimeters for the pin. So we go 8, enter, 8, enter, and then here we've got to go another 20 and 20 millimeters down. I'm going to leave a gap of 8 from here down, gap of 8 millimeters, another 20 mil, and another 20 mil. Okay, and that should leave us a gap of 4 millimeters on the ends. Perfect. All right, now we've got to put in the line for our joining piece. So that's 19 millimeters. And we use a pencil line to draw a line straight down. Keep it on the blue axis and click. Perfect. Now, we remember from the other video that we need to set our protractor to, what was it, 9.5 degrees? Yeah. So we click there, click once here, and we go 9.5. That's our 1 to 6 pitch. So from here, get it on the green axis, hit the left arrow key, click, click, and 9.5. Okay, so there's our 2 angled lines in. We can draw those, draw over those with the pencil tool, click, click like that. And then, just like we did before, hold down Shift to highlight both of those, or Control, both of them work. Grab the Move tool, hit Control so we're making a copy, and copy it to there. Now, I'll show you another trick. What we can do is we can highlight all 4, copy those, and it'll take us half the time because it does them both at the same time. Okay, can't do it again because we only need to put 1 more in, but you get the idea. So highlight those, grab the Move tool, and oops, sorry, I've grabbed something I didn't want to grab. What have I done? I'll grab that and that. Yep, there we go. Sorry, don't know what happened there. Click. All right, and we're good. So now, like I said, we can copy these straight across to the other side. It can be a little bit confusing, but I'll show you how it works. We've got to double click on it, so we're in the component. We need to actually give ourselves a reference point. So from here, the top of where that sort of where that tail and pin meet, we've got to go from here straight across to give ourselves a reference point. So we'll type in 400. So it gives us a nice mark there. Then what we're going to do is we're going to what's going to be the easiest way to do it? We want to look at it at a little bit of a diagonal like this, I guess you could say. we're going to grab the select tool. Now, I don't think I've addressed this with you guys yet. When we're using the select tool, we can actually click and drag and see how it gives us like a highlight box. It's going to highlight that stuff. If we do it, when using the select tool, if you go from left to right, it's going to highlight anything that's in the box, right? Whereas if I go from right to left, it's going to highlight anything that it's touching. So see how it's highlighted the whole thing, right? We don't want the whole thing. Whenever we just want to do the things we want, we've got to go from left to right, okay? So we only want those bits. Now, we're going to have to hold down Shift here because we're going to have to deselect a few things that we don't want. We don't want any of the faces. So I'm going to click on all of those to deselect the faces. We could go through and deselect all the lines we don't want, but we don't. It's not really necessary. And I'll show you why in a sec. So what we can do now is we can hit Control. So we're copying, click, and we make a copy of all these lines. We're going to move them somewhere out of the way. We don't want to put them on the piece of timber because that'll cause problems later. We just want to move them to the side here. Click. Then we're going to right click on that highlighted line and we need to flip it along one of these faces. So I think it'll probably be the red direction. Yep, perfect. So we flipped it along the red direction. It's now facing the opposite way. What we're going to do is grab it with the move tool there and move it up to this top corner, right? So it turns out we didn't actually need to put in that reference line because we've got this top corner here. But if we just move it straight across to there, click, you can see we've got it on the right side. So what we need to do is we need to grab the push-pull tool and we need to move away all of these sort of parts here. We need to move away where all the pins would be. So we can just go through, double-click on all of those and it'll remove them. Perfect. And then double-click on all of these and it'll remove them too. Okay, so we can see there our tailboard is finished. So we can leave that component, edit, delete the guides. So we've got that piece done. That's perfect. The only thing I think I can see we've left over is we've left these lines in here. We need to get rid of them. So we just grab the eraser, remove that, 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 and that from both sides. And they're gone. Fantastic. Okay, so the box is 400 by 400. So we need to make a copy of this 400 millimeters away. So to do that, we need to go from this point here. Actually, it might be easy from this point here. We got to go, actually, yeah, from there, because we grabbed a corner, we can go 400 millimeters this way. Then what we can do is we can grab this whole component, got to hit Control, so we're making a copy, and we need to grab this side of it, that bottom corner here, click once, and we've got our copy, and we're going to move it right to that guide point there. Okay, so there's the two pieces. Now, next bit's really easy. We just need to put in a new piece here. Click once. We're going to go down, and it's got to be 140 by 19. Enter. Then we're going to push this one through all the way to the back. So we're going to hover over that point, click there. Then triple click on this, right click, make a component, create. Good. Now, the quickest way to probably do this, we could copy our lines and everything again, but it doesn't take that long to just double click on that, go with the pencil tool, and just trace these lines. If you were doing a much wider piece and you had like 10 dovetails, you'd probably want to copy it, but doing it this way doesn't really take all that long. So click, click all the way through like that. Okay, and then we can push that in, 19 millimeters, double click on the rest. Oop, sorry, I went to go the wrong way. 19. Sorry, I don't know why it's doing that. That's okay. We'll just click and hover it over the point we want to go. Perfect. So that's that side done. We need to do it to the other side. Like I said, you could copy them if you want, but it really doesn't take that long to go with the pencil tool and just trace it. So we'll just go through and trace them all like that. There we go. Okay, and then we just got to push them in again. So that goes in 19, same here. There we go, I can double click those ones. All right, so that's that piece done. That's the pin board done. and we've just got to make a copy of this. So let's hit Control, make a copy, but we've got to flip it, and I think that'll probably be along the red axis as well. Nope, maybe the green. Nope, maybe the blue. Oh, sorry, did I click the blue first? There we go, red axis. Okay, now we just need to grab this on one of the corners, like here, for example, and we bring it into where it joins, right there. See that? Okay, so I think that's all done now. We should be able to just go with the paint bucket and color them in. So our tail boards are pine, and our other boards are darker, and there we go. Look at that. So that is that dovetail. What's it called? The CARCASE dovetail box finished. We can see that all the joins match up. There's nothing clashing. All the colors match up perfectly. And we've got a box with 5 dovetails in the corner all the way around. And it didn't even take that long. All right, so we're going to save it. Go File, Save, number 38, dovetail box. Oops, sorry, CARCASE dovetail box. CARCASE dovetail box, save. Okay, cool. Next one is a finger joint box. So pretty similar process, but I'll explain that one in the next video. Okay, get new for the next one, and I'll see you in the next video.